Hello, my name is Kenneth Noble. This is my portfolio project, Critique. So these are some of the pieces of work that I found that I would like to keep and really kind of use to represent myself professionally. Now I'm pretty heavy on how I critique myself, and it takes a lot, and I've had to actually set some of that aside because I know these aren't perfect. But I am pretty happy with how they've turned out, and I'm going to want to um, utilize this time to kind of discuss with you how I got to where I'm at with these pieces and what I use to create them. So this is a design poster, a print poster, an event poster for print design, I should say. I really like this piece. It really came together in the end. Let me shrink it down a little bit. There we go. Um, I used Photoshop for the image. I used Illustrator for the logo, Guildhall Games, and I used InDesign to bring it all together. And that poster size, it's very readable, and it gives all the information you need kind of in a quick glance. All right, so let's move on to our next piece. This next one, these two pieces here are culminate to a single piece. It's a Halloween card that I created. This here is the front and the back of the card. Obviously split down the middle, it would close. I created this utilizing my photography and Photoshop. I'm really proud of this piece. It was one of the first pieces I've done, like solid full pieces I did in class. It was an extra credit piece. It wasn't for a project. And I really like the photography on it. So if you look at it, I feel the shot's really well framed. Um, I really like how, your eye is drawn here, but kind of like out of the corner of your eye, which I feel is the point. I feel like I delivered on that really well. You got the specter down here and the little ghost over here. And I brought these actually, these are images, other photos, other people that I brought in. And I just did some heavy brush work, some burning, some applying of negative films and opacities to get them to look that way. And then this over here, my logo actually, long before I took any logo courses, Water Tower Designs is another piece of photography that I took. That I did actually no touch-ups to it. That sun and shadow on it, I believe, is all natural. It has a tree. I simply cut it out, applied the Water Tower Designs below it. Um, the UPC is a Creative Commons Zero, so it's a free use image that I took. But then I added the US pricing and the Canadian pricing. And of course, then I did the textured background here um, for the overall effect, the Halloweeny type effect. So then the inside of the card here, Happy Halloween. It's another piece of my photography. You get the Happy Halloween on this side. Of course, this would be split down the middle. And then a little poem that I wrote. And then I used an image, darkened it, adjusted it to give it kind of a darker Halloween feel to it. So that's a piece I did as extra credit. Another piece I did, here's a Photoshop piece. We were to take an event and create an event poster for it. So it's another event poster. But you notice it's for Brainerd JC's Ice Fishing Extravaganza. I'm from Brainerd Baxter area. Brainerd, Baxter, Nisswa, Pequot Lakes, Breezy Point, those are my stomping grounds. That's where I grew up. Um, I used Brainerd's colorations, the blue and the gray and the white, to kind of represent the area. And then I did this orange yellow to kind of draw it out from the page. Obviously the white would have fallen in the background with more of the snow coloration down here and black. But I drew in that consistency by doing the extravaganza and the title and bringing it down into the information. Um, I did the scope feel with the blur around it, added additional blurs so that way I could do the wording around it without having any issues, any visibility issues or readability issues, hopefully. So, because I felt the orange kind of tied in with everything without being orange like we have in our next piece. This piece is also a print piece, one of them. This is for Guildhall Games also. It incorporates Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign as well. Um, I utilize these very, very bright colors, and believe it or not, I'm not normally into the very, very bright colors. It's not normally my big thing. I do, but just working with these really bright colors is a little different for me. So it's a little out of my box, but I like that I was doing something out of my box. Um, and as the professor stated, these are brochures. There's going to be a lot of other brochures around them. You want yours to pull that attention. So it really worked in the favor of the type of medium that I was working with. We have our inner flap here. It's a single piece, of course, inside outside. Um, and we go to describe our card games, our tabletop games, our board games, and what you have to look forward to and the different options there are available there. Of course, we also have the day of the night. You would want to find that enjoyable thing that you like. I was really happy with the overall design there. These next few are mostly motion graphics, and we'll start with that. This is my original motion graphics based off of a Stranger Things theme. Uh, we got the moving text there, and we watch it all pull together, and then we got that it's a public service announcement. I think it shows off a lot of abilities, the multiple camera angles that you can pull off with Adobe After Effects, and this was all done in After Effects. Then I brought in another piece here. This is another motion graphic piece. It does have sound. I'm not going to try to talk over it. The intent of it is that it shows a wide variety of skills because that's what we do. It's a bunch of little projects put together as a singular piece. I put music on the bottom and added credits at the end. The thing about this piece is it may not make my portfolio. We'll have to see. Basically, a lot of the video footage, all the video footage, is of our professor, John Mendiola. He's a fantastic professor. I really enjoyed working with him. Very knowledgeable. Um, and I'm trying to email him for permissions to be allowed to put this in my portfolio, and I haven't been able to reach him. And without that dialogue there, I'm not comfortable putting it in. But I really hope to because it shows off a lot of skills. So let me play that here quick for you. Like I said, it went over a lot of different skills. I liked how it came out. I added the music, and I almost laugh every time because for any of you out there who remember Will Ferrell on SNL, maybe you can get the reference where there's cowbell, more cowbell. It's just, it's great. Um, Sorry if that joke was over your head, but I find it hilarious. I think of it every time. All right, this last piece here I have is Pincher's Restaurant. Um, we had an entire video production that we did either over a wedding or of Paradise Coast, and I did Paradise Coast. What I did though is I didn't want to do a 4.5 minute video. I wasn't sure would be um, viable to each employer or anything like that. So what I did is I cut out the pincers part and I tried to apply it as like a 30-second commercial for a restaurant. Unfortunately, the audio for them wasn't very good when we got the audio. I did my best to modify it. I'm sure you all know who have done the Paradise Coast that some of those audios were just terrible. And I'm working on one for Lux. Boutique as well because the audio is much better, it's much more smooth, but I'm missing some of the footage, the original footage, and I'm only being able to pull about 22 seconds out instead of 30, and I really wanted to round it out, but I may just consider 22 seconds an acceptable amount of time and put that on there because I think it's really well done.
Pincher's Crab Shack is a fun, family-friendly atmosphere with loud music, vibrant colors, and the freshest seafood in town. And kids always eat free. You're always on vacation at Pinchers. It's some of the freshest seafood that we're pulling right out of the Gulf of Mexico. And everything is fresh. It's like we say, we can't fake fresh. We own our own crab house, the Island Crab Company, so everything we're controlling straight from the water to your table. Yeah, grouper and stone crabs are the only things that you can get right out of the Gulf of Mexico. So literally when you come to Southwest Florida, that's what you want. And that's what you get here at Pinchers.
I appreciate you taking a look. I look forward to your criticisms and critiques. I hope that you will comment on it. I don't mind criticism. I know that I'm not perfect. I know that I have a lot of growth that I can go. Um, yeah, I look forward to compliments as well. It's nice to hear nice things about your work, but the critiques are where I can hopefully grow. I know they're not perfect. I've seen some errors just going through them here now with you that I may go back and repair. But all in all, these are the pieces I'm happiest with, and I hope they all, including my basketball stats, make the final cut. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys in class. And no matter where you end up in life, good luck.